What's up, YouTube Nation? I'm Corinne from Threadbanger, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of the biggest costumes of this Halloween season, Maleficent. Of course, there's already a ton of great tutorials out there in YouTube landia, but what I've done is taken the best of the best, simplified it to make it easy for you to use stuff from around your house to make a complete look that really only takes about an hour to do. Let's get started. You'll need 2 toilet paper rolls, aluminum foil, some masking tape, some electrical tape, a headband, and a glue gun. Step 1, take your toilet paper roll and cut a couple inches off of it with your standard scissors. Once you've cut the toilet paper roll, you're simply going to stuff it with some aluminum foil so it keeps its shape. After you've stuffed the toilet paper roll out a piece of aluminum foil about this big. Now you take your stuffed toilet paper roll and place it on the end here. And then you're just going to simply roll the aluminum foil around the toilet paper roll. Now that you have a shape kind of looking like this, what you simply do is start twisting the aluminum foil at that point pretty much right where the toilet paper roll ends. So towards the end you want to twist a little tighter so the tip is smaller. So you kind of want to build the basic shape with this situation here. Basically, you want to end up with a shape that kind of looks like a miniature Captain Hook hand. Once you're at this stage, you really want to take some time working this shape because the shape is the most important part and the hardest thing about making these horns. Maleficent has a really cool curve in her horns, and that's what we're achieving with this basic shape. Next, we take more aluminum foil, and basically we're going to repeat what I'm about to do over and over again until we've built up the shape of the horn enough so it's sturdy. You do this by tearing off sheets of aluminum foil about this size and then folding them up. You want to end up with aluminum strips that are about 2 inches wide and about 1 foot long. I'm going to start right here on the horn. Just slowly start wrapping it around. Aluminum foil is super forgiving, so don't be so crazy about making everything perfect. As you're doing this process, the whole time you want to be squeezing and sculpting and really trying to get that shape to be a horn shape. When you have your second strip made, just go ahead and start where you left off, on the last piece of aluminum foil. You always kind of want to keep the shape that you're going for, but essentially it's aluminum foil, so you can pretty much just bend it when you're finished, but you do really want to keep the final product in mind while you're doing this though. You're going to keep doing that until you get the shape you like as a base, and then we're going to move on to the next step. After you've worked with your aluminum foil for a little bit, you should have 2 shapes that look something like this. Now we're going to cover it with some painter's tape because it helps smooth out all these little bumps. And then we'll add electrical tape, and you're only a couple steps away from being finished. Isn't that exciting? I start from the bottom. You can start anywhere you want though, because that's the beauty of DIY. Just keep going round and around until you've covered the whole thing. You only have to do 1 layer, and you should have something that looks like this. After it's all covered in the painter's tape, you only have 1 more step on the horns, and that is covering it with the electrical tape. Same process, just wrap all the way around until you cover the whole thing. Unlike the masking tape, that kind of can feel a little fidgety, this tape does exactly what you want it to do. Make sure to repeat that process for your second horn. Now that you have your horns made, all you gotta do is glue them to your headband. Be pretty generous with the glue. Be careful not to burn yourself. Just kind of let the glue dry a little bit before you add the horn. So then just attach the horn and hold it there for a few seconds. So now that you have your 1 horn on there, you can kind of gauge where the other horn should go. And you don't want them too close together because then they look weird. So you want to make sure you have enough space that they don't look weird whilst on your head. These horns are pretty heavy, so the glue's really strong and all, and we love glue sticks, they're a miracle. But you are going to want to reinforce it with some electrical tape, just kind of crisscrossing around the headband. You do not want to be dancing and have one of your horns fall off. That'd be really embarrassing. After you finish that second crisscross, you are done with your horns. Let's move on to the makeup. I pretty much rock a Maleficent style look every day of my life, but if you don't have dark features like I do, what you'll want to do is start with a nice even base and then accentuate the eyebrows with some eyeshadow. Before moving on to any intense eyeliner, you want to put in your green contacts. These aren't necessary for the Maleficent look, but they definitely add a nice detail. These ones cost about $40. If you shop around a little bit more, you can probably get them for about $20. Not the most budget-friendly item, but definitely a nice feature. And voila, your eyes are green and creepy now. Like I said before, this is not a necessary step, but doesn't it look awesome? No evil queen is complete without her red lipstick. To keep your red lipstick lasting all night long, you definitely want to start with a lip liner. And most people think that you just line your lips with a lip liner. No, put it all over your lips and then add your lip gloss. It'll stay on for hours. Now that you have the perfect pout, you can add some winged eyeliner. My favorite eyeliner to use is Kat Von D's Tattoo Liner. It has a super small tip, so it makes it really easy for applying that winged look without going full on Amy Winehouse. We've all been there. To do the perfect winged eyeliner, I always start on the edge here, and you make the line so basically it points to the end of your eyebrow. And no Maleficent transformation would be complete without those amazing, dramatic, sunken cheekbones. This is super easy to attain with some eyeshadow and a makeup brush. I'm gonna use this taupe color and a crease brush like this. You basically wanna follow the bottom of your cheek line here. So just kind of start up by your hairline, where your sideburns start. Yeah, we all got those. And then you're just gonna slowly blend. You don't wanna use a lot, you don't want it to be crazy looking, so you're just gonna blend, 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 blend. And then when you get closer to this area right here, you don't want a super dark line because it starts looking like you have a beard. So you just gotta make sure you gotta blend a lot. And then you do a little bit up here too. So we'll just do a little bit here. Really just creating this like, I have a crazy cheekbone. In the movie, they actually have prosthetics on her face. So you're never really gonna achieve the exact look with just some eyeshadow, but it definitely helps give you a defined cheekbone. After you've done your contouring, you just kind of suck in your cheeks a little. Really gives that effect. And then lastly, just apply some black mascara and put it on for days and days. Now that your horns are all done and your makeup is fantastic, all you have to do is get dressed. You can keep your garments super simple because your horns are so fantastic, everyone's gonna know you're Maleficent. Case in point, I got this shirt from the thrift store for like $5. Just a simple button down that I added some sleeves to and some embellishments around the collar. Basically, with these horns and these eyes, no one's gonna be caring what you're wearing. And you did it, you're Maleficent. See, I told you it would be easy. Now you can go out and scare the hell out of everyone. Have a happy Halloween.